the new PC.
Henry, you got double fisted. You got a couple of double fingers up there from the end of
double
the bar.
Goalpost.
They weren't saying you were number one.
It wasn't the goalpost.
It was a different kind of.
It's my girl.
Different digit.
I got your back. I got your back.
All right, so we're gonna have some fun tonight. It's a countdown to kick off bye-week edition. No Eagles football this week, but we will spend the next hour of the broadcast. First, Rob, I thought we would analyze what we watched on Sunday night, and then we'll look ahead to what's coming up, beginning with the Pittsburgh game coming up out of the bye week. And a special guest making his first appearance at Screwballs. Your partner from Sports Take. He's coming in tonight.
Barrett Brooks will be here.
I love it.
The double B, man. The Super Bowl champion. Even though he didn't win it with the Eagles. But that's all right. That's a whole different story. But yes.
Who did he win that with?
Some team from Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember exactly who that was.
So
yes.
Big Daddy's coming in the
Big
house
Daddy
tonight,
will be at Pork Chop.
Yeah, that's how I met Barrett through the Big Daddy campaign.
Yes.
He was the spokesman for Big Daddy.
Big Daddy clothing.
I love those shirts.
Yeah, Barrett's a trip, man.
Awesome guy.
Barrett thought the Eagles were going to roll in that game, and it looked like it was going to be a roll for a while there, and then. It's patterned similar to what we've seen here, right? Jump out in the second quarter, go crazy, and then Dallas comes back, as we've seen a lot this year so far in the second half, and then the Eagles put together a drive where they say, you know what, we're going to end this thing, and they do it largely behind the run game. This is what it's been.
That drive. So let's talk about the start, because I had the Bryce Harper face with the home run.
Yes.
I mean, those first two drives, they went up and down the field with a myriad of plays. It was they had Dallas so off balance.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, they're going to blow this team off the field.
Like that.
And then we know what happened. So now I'm starting to worry after 6 games about this lull in action in the second half. Like, why it's so weird for a team. Usually when a team goes up, they just keep piling it on and rolling it. They just go like rubbing a shark's belly. They just go into this trance.
Rubbing a shark's belly.
Until they're woken up again.
Is that the move?
That's the thing, yeah. You got to grab it, see, flip it over. And,
okay.
No, but really, they just keep doing it. Now it's getting weird to me as a coach. Why does this team fall asleep in the third quarter?
Look, I think part of it is maybe the other teams are doing a good job sort of countering whatever the Eagles are throwing.
There's adjustments for sure, but not that many.
No, but that said, then you got to counter off of what they're doing.
Right.
And you got to be able to do it on the fly a little bit. Like, it's great that you're designing things that come out and just, take care of business early in these games, but you got to figure out a way to answer to whatever they're doing. I do think to an extent it's human nature where you let down a little bit. I can give them some of that. But eventually, this is going to bite them. You're trying to I think this is a great time for the bye week to discover what's happening.
Listen, at one point in that game, and you know it, everybody here knows it. At one point, it was 20-17.
Yeah.
So that game got a lot closer than I think anybody in the building had expected. Anybody at the link expected.
100%.
Well, one thing that really stuck out to me as a coach, that the absence of Lane Johnson and how when he left the game, stuff turned around for Dallas.
Speaking of Sharks, that was like chum in the water. When Lane Johnson left, they went after Driscoll hard.
It was unbelievable
really
how
hard.
much that game flipped on that.
Yeah.
And to answer our earlier discussion, when the Eagles answered back with that long, dominating drive.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, get out of here. Like, it was like smacking the kid back down for getting unruly. That's when it was over. After that drive, I think that took.
That was it, and that's when the Eagles need their bread and butter. It's the run game. I think it was 11 of the 13 plays were runs. I mean, they just absolutely can go to that, and they did that with Lane Johnson out too.
Right.
So you don't fall off as much in the run game with Driscoll, but you see it in the pass game.
This
That's what
offense
hurts.
is so scary.
It's so diversified.
The things they can do out of it. I mean, how many times did A.J. Brown run a jet motion, just dip into the flat and be wide open? How many times did that happen? And it's just so hard to stop this defense. It's scary. This team's getting scary, but these lulls in the third quarter, it's more than just we're up and cooling back. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just starting to get weird that after every half they're dead.
Yeah. I don't know what the medical analysis is of Lane Johnson in a concussion. I do know it's his third concussion. I do know that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do know that, and I don't, again, medically, I don't know what it means, but it's no secret Lane has struggled with with a mental challenge that sidelined him
beginning of last year.
Beginning of last year. And I don't know what all that means, you know, and the priority number one is Lane, you know, obviously. If they have to make an adjustment where Lane can't come back, or if he has an extended period of time where he is not playing for this football team, then I think there's reason for legitimate concern, because it shows or exposes one area that others will tee off on.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind. First of all, good timing with the bye. He can just don't rush back, right? Number one. Number two, Dillard's getting close. So if Dillard comes back, you can always plug him in on the left side and move Mailata. Mailata is good with moving to the right. Dillard does not do well on the right. Put Dillard back at the left tackle. Put Mailata at the right tackle as long as Lane's out, if you have to do that.
And you're serviceable from that.
Absolutely.
But, you know, the way the Eagles' offense kind of plummeted, or the energy, you know, left the building when Lane went down, I only usually see that if a quarterback goes down, or one of those specialty guys.
Point.
It's rare to see a lineman go down and then down goes the offense, you know, from that point on.
That's a great
point.
point.
They got it together. I mean, they had a double team. 11, he was an animal off that.
And look, Parsons does that to everybody.
Right.
But still, it was an extreme what was happening there. And again, you know, it's great that we're looking at all these things that they have to fix, but they're 6-0. They're the only team still standing. I mean, the way they're jumping on teams. Special teams is a worry.
Yeah.
It's a worry. But, I mean, think about it. After all of that went down, they only gave up 17 points. Jim Johnson, the Eagles' great defense coordinator, always said, if I hold a team to 17, I'm happy. However we got there, I don't care. And that's all Dallas only got 17. And they were able to not sack Cooper Rush, but disrupt him enough where here's the other pattern. They continue to get takeaways, man. They get 3 more. He had thrown an interception, and they get a 3 spot. They take the ball away. They're disruptive. They can run. They can throw. They can hurt you so many different ways, this team.
So the only question mark left from that game is what happens when Dak comes back.
Yes.
And that's the sole defense for every Dallas fan I know. All right, well, you beat our second-string quarterback, and we almost beat you.
Yeah.
You know, so what happens when Dak comes back?
Yeah, and look, that ultimately will – the other thing is when they play Dallas again, it's on a back-to-back-to-back. It's the third of a back-to-back. That's Christmas Eve night, but it's the third of a back-to-back-to-back, which is always hard. I'm not – who knows what anything looks like at that point. It's a long way away. But nonetheless, you watch all these other teams week to week, there are a lot of times they don't show up half the time. And for whatever the flaws are in game for the Eagles, they come to play every single week, where I see other teams that just don't even show up.
Well, we all know, or you know, and certainly Henry, you know, it is impossible to play a perfect football game.
Yeah.
It just does not happen.
The other team's paid to play too, you know?
And there's a lot of over-officiating. There's a lot of bad calls happening right now in the NFL. I almost think the game's getting too fast for officials. Baseball you could probably call just from cameras and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, here's one thing about
so
baseball,
fast.
and I don't want to get into a baseball conversation, but here's one thing about baseball and instant replay.
Right.
They will never overturn a call on the field.
You know what?
Yeah, when there's a ball that is called a strike, they never overturn it.
A play at first, they will not overturn a play that goes up for review.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
With blatant obvious evidence.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point? Why
even doing it?
Yeah, you're wasting everybody's time as if the game's not long enough.
Like baseball can be done with just cameras.
Absolutely.
You don't need umpires. They can make somebody could be in a booth with a camera making the calls.
Yeah. I like umpires.
Well, yeah, because you get fights happen.
There's no fun anymore.
You can't argue with an NFL ref.
I don't want to become
a baseball ref. You can scream in his face, but not in the NFL. You can't.
I don't want to get so. I don't want to get off on a base. How do we get off on a baseball?
You brought it up.
I don't want to get robotic in baseball. I don't want to get to the point where it's so robotic that the game becomes a tune-out.
Yeah, it becomes like tennis.
Yeah.
So watching the Eagles every week, there's another. It's more and more impressive. When they got rolling there, I was like, they are going to blow this team off the field. For the breaks to go on, maybe they get up and just chill. I don't know. I mean, they're a very relaxed group.
They are.
They're a very relaxed group,
when
the Cowboys were nipping at the heels, it's like, all right, let's put this drive together, stay on the ground, bully them down the field.
Here's what's weird and ironic about the fact that they do, seems like, take their foot off the gas. That's so opposite the personality of Hurts and Sirianni. Like, neither one of those guys are those types to be like, yeah, we're fine. Like,
yeah, that's why I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they're taking their foot off the gas. I don't
just think
know
the
how
other
to
team's
explain.
waking up.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain why what's happening is happening, but I don't believe, for what you just said, that Jalen Hurts is pulling back.
Yeah, just say, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
I think maybe part of it is a compliment. Maybe part of it is going into the week of prep is so good that they have the other team so off balance that the Eagles look unbelievable in the first half. Maybe it's a part of that a little bit. Then the adjustment comes and they aren't as good on the fly. Maybe there's some of that. I don't know.
I think part of their success is that remember how Bruce Lee used to say, "Be like water,
Yes.
morph to the." That's this team. Like they can. All right, you stop the run, they can do this. You
Yeah,
stop
that's
this,
true.
they can do that. And you don't know. Like if Sirianni has 200 plays, it seems like he sends all 200 to the other team. They study them all, but they can't master.
Yeah.
You can't figure out. Like I'm so impressed with this
They're a
offensive
chameleon.
coordinator.
They are. Steichen deserves a lot of
He
love.
really does. I mean,
Yeah.
my team, I want to kill my OC, Canada. But this guy, the little slip screens, the little dips, like you never know. You can't key on anybody. You know, you play Jordan, you key Jordan.
Yep.
You can't key anybody in this offense because his offense is for everybody. Everybody eats from this offense.
We had an interesting discussion on Sports Take, and I said, all right, if you take Hurts out of it, who's the MVP? And, you know, Barrett and Derek and Barrett will be joining us in a little bit, but we threw around like 5-6 different names legitimately like you could make a case for. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty good compliment that you have that much talent on a team that you could say that. Yeah, I threw Slay out there. I think Barrett threw T.J. Edwards out there.
How many All-Pros are on this team?
Yeah,
after
right.
6 games.
I mean,
how many guys get that nod?
Kelsey, Lane Johnson, Hurts,
Maybe Brown.
maybe Brown. There's at least 4 on offense. You go to the other side, Slay,
Yes.
Bradbury, I think
Yes.
are locks.
Locks, yeah.
There's 7. I don't know if they'll give T.J. Edwards the love he probably deserves because he's not the name nationally and
Right.
with some other people, but he's had a damn good year. Gardner Johnson is really making his case now.
They got 7, 8, maybe 9.
He's had 3
Pro
picks the last
Bowlers.
2 weeks. Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
that's
this team, man.
it's a lot.
What continues to impress
Sanders
is
is
the
third in
speed,
rushing.
The speed in which this team turned the corner.
Yeah.
2 years, 2 seasons,
Yeah.
and you're the best team in the league.
You didn't know who your quarterback was. Your coach was kind of 1 foot out the door at that point. Your defense was getting lit up every single week, and to be able to do it without going into like Carolina Panther mode, where they're going to trade everybody away in a couple
Right,
weeks,
right.
is pretty hard.
Well,
to
you
do.
weren't here. You weren't part of the countdown to kickoff show a year ago. But I could, if we went back and we replayed any one of the countdown to kickoff shows,
Hurts was a topic every week.
and we weren't talking about Brown. We were talking about Jalen
Rager.
Rager.
I mean, think about that upgrade.
Right.
Just right there.
Yeah.
Look at the upgrade there, Joe. Look at the upgrade at linebacker. Kaiser White can cover and hit. That's a huge upgrade, who they got for a pretty dirt cheap contract. Bradbury on a dirt cheap contract, and he's playing like a number 1 corner. Slay's, he and Slay are just an unbelievable tandem. You're able to do that. You get Reddick in here. He's making an impact. Like almost every one of their big moves, Reddick, Bradbury, Kaiser White, the drafting of Jordan Davis, who's getting better every single week, and A.J. Brown, all home runs. Check.
So
check.
the
across the board.
MVP is Rosen.
Roseman could very well be
Roseman,
the
yeah.
MVP. Yeah. I mean, to put this thing together, and you're set up with 2 first-round picks next year. One, if New Orleans keeps losing, just looking better and better. That's not a bad place to be.
Not a bad place.
Like, what a
at
foundation
all.
Yeah.
for a dynasty.
And they're, other than maybe a couple guys on the defensive line and like a Kelsey or Lane Johnson, they're pretty young. I mean, Jalen's young, A.J. Brown's young, Devontae Smith is young, Goddard's young, Mailata's young. They drafted Cam Jurgens to step in at some point for Kelsey. Dickerson's young.
Going to be good for a while.
Well, here's I know we're going to get ready to go to a break, and Barrett Brooks will be joining us here live, and we look forward to Barrett coming out and talking football. It's our countdown to kickoff edition. It's our bye-week edition. We will select a few winners tonight and put them on our bus trip to New York.
Okay.
That game is in December, so I'm very, very excited about that trip, and we'll pick a couple of more winners. That trip is going to be a consolidated version of what we've done in the past, where if we have 34 winners, all 34 people are going to be on that trip. We're not going to have 52 winners and 37 are going to show up.
Okay.
So we're going to have the right
The right people.
The right people
That was a great
on
trip.
the bus. It was a great trip.
No one got arrested. It was a good time.
So really good stuff on the Countdown to Kickoff show. We'll continue our conversation on the other side. Back in a moment.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire Stick, Android TV, or Apple TV? Now you can watch 6ABC 24/7 with the 6ABC Philadelphia streaming app.
The big story on Action.
Search 6ABC Philadelphia and start streaming today.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
Go passionately. Go fearlessly. Go confidently.
Go Birds!
Go confidently towards your goals with First Trust, Philly's hometown bank for nearly 90 years, and the official bank of the Philadelphia Eagles. We're focused on getting you over the goal line. So go with conviction, go with trust,
Go Birds!
and go forward with us by your side. First Trust Bank, the official bank of Philadelphia dreams. Oh, and go Birds.
Welcome to Pond Lehocky. We've helped over 100,000 injured and disabled workers obtain benefits, as well as some of the biggest settlements in the state. If you've been injured at work, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown's 5-day used car super sale. Jeff puts an end to high prices now. 5 days of the best car, truck, and SUV deals ever. Over 1,000 vehicles, every make and model. Stop overpaying. See Jeff today and get a quality car, truck, or SUV now. The 5-day used car super sale. Experience how easy it is to deal at Jeff's. Nobody treats you better. Nobody gives you more. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown. GoJeffAuto.com.
All right, welcome back in Countdown to Kickoff. We are coming to you from Screwballs. What an unbelievable crowd that we have here hanging out. There you go. There you go. And as if this panel wasn't handsome enough with Coach, we have just upgraded big time to the one and only
Big Daddy
Barrett Brooks, a.k.a. Pork Chop, a.k.a. BCB. What's going on, Barrett?
What's up, man? Hey, I appreciate you guys having me here, but I just want to let you know, I told my wife and kids where I'm going to be at, so,
okay.
you know, just in case I don't get back.
Keep it PG.
I got you.
With these statesides.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, it's a sponsor, right?
Yes.
All right, we're good to go.
See that?
Good plug.
Barrett, good work. Sponsor placement right there. Good job.
I'd get killed if I brought that up here.
I hear you. Yes, you would, actually.
I would.
Yes. Are you going to tell Barrett he can't have his
I'm not saying
stateside?
shit to Barrett.
Okay, exactly right. So, Barrett, I got to ask you.
buying it.
You felt, leading up to the Cowboys game, you were very confident. We got a double.
Wow.
We got a double.
The leniency when you come.
See
Please
that?
come more.
Barrett, it's great, man. It's just
Sponsored
like all bets
by
are off.
Stateside.
Yes, exactly. You felt confident in the game. Now, it ended up being a little bit closer than I think we all had hoped for.
Right.
But they put together that drive at the end that just kind of gave the Cowboys the Heisman. But tell me why you felt so good going into that game, because it looked like, especially the second quarter, Eagles were putting it on.
Basically fundamentals, and also I don't think defensive coordinators know how to combat Jalen Hurts. They don't know how to play Jalen Hurts just yet. I was talking, to Big Seals about this, man. He brought up something that's, that's very true.
Dan Sileo for people.
Dan Sileo, yes. For and when you look at Jalen crossed all his T's and dotted his I's coming into this.
Yep.
They say he couldn't read defenses. Well, his pre-snap has become impeccable because how many times he beat defenses when they brought up an all-out blitz, checked to something, and was able to get out on third and long. He's done that. He's shown that ability. He did it last week. He's done it this week. They said he didn't have any touch. How about his touch now? They say he couldn't throw the long ball. How many big plays does he have over 50 yards now? Mm-hmm. Then you look at, all right, we were steady saying we need a big back when we get down on the goal line. Well, who's turning out as our big back?
Jalen.
Jalen Hurts being a guy that can squat 600 pounds, one of the strongest guys on the team. Hell, when you got Jason Kelsey getting mad and pissed off because his quarterback squats more than he does, you got a convenience right there,
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
So now you're saying, all right, he is a big back. So what do? You stop his arm, you stop hhis legs. And now he's able to take that read option and really take it to another level because you pick your poison. On the last play the touchdown they scored against Dallas, it was a four-way option that he could go with that play. On that play, it was the read option in which if the end crashed down, then he would keep it. But if he didn't crash down, he could hand it off. Well, he didn't even hand it off because they influence blocked him by having Dallas Goedert influence the end as he goes out and runs a little out route.
Yeah.
Now, they've hit that about 5 or 6 times where they're just throwing it to Dallas Goedert.
Right.
So that's become a weapon for him. Mm-hmm. So what they did on this play, after he read option, he could have gave it, but he kept it. The end stays outside, but also that influence block when he goes out and then he goes into runs a little out route.
Run the guys out. Yeah.
They take the wide receiver who has to be the Slim Reaper,
Devontae.
Smitty.
Yep.
Unreal that play.
Slim Batman, and goes like he's going to crack the safety, and then just goes at him, turns around for the touchdown.
Yep.
So that means he could have handed off to the running back. He could have kept him himself. He threw it to the tight. He could have threw it to the tight end, and he actually threw it to the wide receiver. Now, how do you stop that as a defense?
You can't.
You're damned if you do it, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
So how do you defense a guy like Jalen Hurts? He has the arm, he has the touch, he has the deep ball, plus he has the mindset to check the plays and also run the RPOs and read options to perfection. It's just a tough way, and he's turned out to be one of the better players right now. I think he went from being, I'm sorry, my fault, Brian.
No.
From being 15, 14, 13 as far as ranking quarterbacks to now look at him, he's right around, I'm not even going to say 11. I'm going to say 10, 9, 8. He's right around that range right now.
Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Watching this Eagles offense, as many years as I've watched football, as much as how many kids I've coached, 30 years coaching, they surprise me. They blow my mind a little bit every week. When Smith just peeled off of that block and just sat there and caught the ball.
Right.
Dallas, they're like, what do we have to do? Like, no matter what we do.
Dallas wasn't accustomed to that because they were handling everybody defensively.
Right, the frustration, you see them they're getting ticked off.
There was a lot of that. A lot of losing their composure kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's.
And you look at that play. Smitty got called on that play twice for a crack block.
That's right.
Before.
That's right.
Illegal blocking before the receiver got the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
So now they throw a little wrinkle into it. Now he goes and acts like he's a block and then turn.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's good coaching, man. That is good coaching.
Barrett, my biggest surprise is how this team's turned around so fast in a couple seasons with this new coach, all these new players. It's unbelievable. This coaching staff is doing an amazing job getting these kids ready.
And it's funny. We talked about this a lot on Sports Take, Barrett. I'll get your take on this. The focus was on Jonathan Gannon's going to get a job at the end of this year. Shane Steichen might get it before him, first of all, because this offense is rolling. And secondly, we know owners love offensive minds, right? So it could be Steichen ahead of Gannon.
I mean, is it me or is the football world changing? Like the guy down in Miami, he looks like a librarian.
Right.
He looks like a professor.
Blocked anybody.
He looks like the guy I'm sitting there like half awake at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'm like begging for
what are we doing?
These boy geniuses in Pittsburgh. I'm a big Steelers. I'm like, can I get one of those little bookworm guys to call the offense?
Right.
Some guy with a chart that looks like it's a CVS receipt. You know.
And they just totally think differently. Like the Rams coach.
Yeah,
he's a savant because he could tell you exactly what the play is, what they ran, what defense they were in, what the time on the clock was. I mean, who has – I can barely remember my name when I wake up
telling
in the
you,
morning.
man. I'm the same way you are. I got to ask, because we talked about this last segment, and I want to get your take because, frankly, I don't think any of us have a real good answer for it. But how can they have these flashes of brilliance, and then third quarters are typically ugly? Like the other team's able to make a run. Do you just attribute it to just human letdown?
It's now 6 weeks in a row.
What is it?
There's a pattern developing, and it's so weird.
You know what? I think this is a culmination of they give up too early on the run. They come out with all intentions of going out and running the ball. Then when they get it, when it's first and only get 2 yards, and then they run it again, they may get 2 more yards. Now it's 3rd and 6. Then they don't complete the pass. Now like, all right, we can't run the ball anymore, so now we got to pass to make sure we can stay on time. No, you got to stay. Running the ball is being consistent and understanding you're not going to break every single run play. There is nothing wrong with punting the ball.
Yeah,
I'm with you. That?
I'm with you.
You know?
Listen, and when you, like, what drives me crazy is you're not getting stopped. It's not like there's no answer there and you're losing 5 yards per carry. You're still pounding the ball.
Exactly.
They just, for some reason, get away from it.
Well, I feel like this. I feel like when Dallas was surging and coming on, Sirianni was like, all right, let me smack them back down. Let me go on the ground with this long drive. Go back to what we do. What a luxury to have an incredible run game. So maybe he's just experimenting or third quarter.
It's 2 straight weeks where they said, this is getting a little hairy. Guess what we're going to do? We're just going to run it down your throat. And they did it 2 straight weeks.
4-minute offense. The best offense in the world. As an offensive lineman, you love that because you're being the aggressor. You're running the rock. There's nothing more demeaning to a defensive coordinator than to have your guys getting runner, and there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can call or anything.
Bullied.
Exactly.
You got guys getting off the ground a little slower, defensive linemen getting pissed off, linebackers getting mad because they're letting guys. These guys are so good up front. And then what happens, people don't understand how much of a luxury it is to have Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
Because they're running inside zone. But he has the autonomy to say, all right, on this play, hey, Sayamalo, instead of we scoop to this linebacker, I don't think I can get to the linebacker when we scoop him. Why don't you block down and I'm going to pull around. And he can call that when he wants to call it. Or if he's sitting back and he's sitting there and he say, all right, we have 4 down in the Mike. We got scat protection. That means we have the 4 down lineman and the Mike linebacker. But he sees a blitz that's coming off the left side. He'll go like this. All right, no, hey, Jalen, I'm going to go Luke Big. Luke Big is telling the guys on the left side to block the big man. He's going over with the center, and they're going to block that Will linebacker as opposed to blocking that Mike linebacker. So now he's taking that hot read now off the quarterback and the other guys. I'm going to pick him up knowing that this Mike linebacker's not coming. Now, if he knows he's not coming, how much of a luxury is that? Now your quarterback has time to sit back now and throw the ball down the field because he's taken off the blitz.
I mean, Kelsey's a coach on the ball. Right?
Exactly.
I got goosebumps. I just felt like I was
that was like a master class. Let's be real clear.
I was about to tackle you. I'm not
Joe,
lying.
you're not getting that anywhere else. That was freaking awesome.
So Kelsey's the quarterback on the line that makes his own audibles. And he calls all the adjustments.
Jalen would tell you himself, half the time he'd be lost without him because he has to know if somebody's coming and he calls that off him, now he can sit back and relax. Now he knows he has time to throw it instead of throwing hot when he doesn't have to throw hot because they've taken that guy instead and the guy's back in coverage.
I just think what a nightmare they got to be to game plan for a week of. You're trying to figure out, like, picking your poison with this offense. Yes. I don't know how you do it. I mean, with Brown and Devontae and Goddard and Sanders and the offensive line and all the things you just laid out beautifully that Hurts does, I don't know what you do here. What do you attack with that?
Well, last year they said, all right, we're going to stop the run. Even though they weren't able to do it the last couple of games of the season, we're going to stop the run. No matter what, we're going to stop the run. So we're going to put all our resources in stopping the run. They bring an 8th man in the box. Now they got everybody covered up. They wearing a Navajo front or a bear front, whatever you want to call it. They call it the 50 front, where they have the center being covered by a nose guard. Then you have the guards being covered by tackles. We're going to stop the run. You can't do that now. Why? Because
can hurt you.
A.J. Brown. You got the slim.
Too many weapons right behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
Oh, and if you can't cover, they got so many weapons. Are you going to cover who? Who you going to cover who? And it's just too much for a defense to really try to do it.
So here's food for thought. And while you were talking, I just came to my mind. What if last year Jalen Hurts had all these capabilities, but not the weapons, and the rest of the offense had to catch up to him?
That's a good point.
Maybe coming out of the college he came from, his mentals, because I refuse to believe in one calendar year this kid got that much better. I mean, he worked his butt off on the offseason, but I mean the mental side.
No, you're right. Listen, I agree with you, first of all. But this is the difference between a Jalen Reagor and an A.J. Brown, who could change the entire outlook of an offense. Right. That's the big difference. You're right. Like, I think this kid works so hard. He's definitely getting better, but yeah, he didn't go from 0 to 180 like that. He got some help.
Right.
Like Josh Allen got when he got Stephon Diggs. He didn't all of a sudden just become what he is. He got help.
Exactly. And the biggest thing is trust. I began this season talking about trust. And the trust that he has with A.J. Brown just spilled over to not just him, but Devontae Smith, to Dallas Goedert, to all those guys in the offense. He trusts now that they're going to catch the ball. Last year, you think he was trusting going to Jalen Reagor?
Yeah, it's a great point.
You think he was trusting to go into those guys? He was not trusting that.
Not that, only that, Barrett. If the guy's not open, like we always killed him because, he would just take off too quick. Okay, so they're shutting down Devontae. And there's nobody else helping him on the outside. They didn't even have a great third threat either.
Exactly.
Like Quez is, and we know Quez is what he is.
Yes.
So he would take off, and people killed him for it. Well, maybe he was making the right read because
he
it wasn't there.
Because he now, if he's sitting back there, and listen, this is how you do it. All right, you got Rob right here. Right. Rob's the DB.
Right.
I'm built like A.J. Brown. I'm not built like A.J. Brown. I'm built like, I'm built like Brown, people to deliver practice. I'm just saying, if you got this right here, I'm actually not open right now.
Right.
I'm not open. I got somebody on me.
Right.
But when you got A.J. here,
it's over.
He's so strong.
Yeah. You can throw it right on him, and he's going to catch it.
Yeah.
That's the trust that he has right now.
Who can stop him on a slant in the NFL?
That's what I'm saying. So
he's so powerful.
He trusts the fact that those guys can make plays for him, and that made him even better as a quarterback.
Yes.
And how many, we were talking about this earlier, how many times is he going to go in motion and dip into the flat, and nobody's on him?
Nobody's on him.
What? I mean, how many times?
I'm telling you, man.
Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? You got to stop the run. All right, so you got so many people he can throw to inside. I mean, it's like, all right, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because you got to stop the run first because they can run the ball. They have to think run first.
You have to stop that.
And they don't have, a lot of coaches and OCs have patterns and tendencies and all that. Likens all over the place. And so as the defensive coordinator, this team keeps you up at night. Jalen Hurts keeps you up at night because when he releases the ball, for him to release it, he saw something. Something's there.
Yes.
Right. He's not throwing into double coverages. I haven't seen that at all, really.
Exactly.
They are the opposite of predictable.
Right.
In this offense. I mean, they are.
It's
you're right.
so scary.
It is. All right.
Scary good.
Let's get a quick one here. We'll sneak in a timeout. We come back. We'll keep it rolling with Barrett. that going. Barrett came in. He said, "I'll have the left side and I'll have the right side." And we are having a good time here.
I have the left side and half this middle side.
Yes, I like that. All right, and drink up, my friend. All right, so we were hanging out at Screwballs. What a great crowd. Again, give it up for yourselves, you guys. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate it. Yes, we are countdown to kickoff. JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Right back.
greatest fans on earth. It's a bold statement, but would you expect anything less from Philadelphia? 58 years of heartache creates a toughness, a grit, a resolve not found in most. Sure, our prayers were answered, but now that we've had a taste, we're looking for more. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Celebrating the life of your loved one is what we do at Life Celebrations by Givnish. When the matriarch of the Dalloway family died suddenly at 82 years old, Life Celebrations by Givnish stepped in.
They will make this the easiest thing that I know it's not easy, but they will make this as easy as possible.
Life Celebrations by Givnish, customizing services as unique as the individual.
I just know that my dad, who is in charge of everything, was not in charge of anything at that point when my mom passed. And again, just another shout out to this place for making it easy.
Turning tragedy into a celebration of life, no matter how hard, is what we do at Life Celebrations by Givnish. Life Celebrations by Givnish, customizing services as unique as the individual.
The faces you know, the team you trust. The Delaware Valley's leading news program, Action News.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
Welcome back in Countdown to Kickoff. Look, the crowd has been awesome tonight, but I want to blow the roof off this thing. Let's hear it for the start for the Eagles, and let's hear it for everybody who came out here tonight to Screwballs. Let's go! Woo! Yeah, baby. We are Countdown to Kickoff. Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, and the coach, Henry Rachel. So, all right, Barrett, I want to walk me through this from a player's perspective. Eagles with the bye week. A little early for my taste. I would have preferred maybe about 2 weeks from now. But nonetheless, what are you doing as a player? Are you completely just getting away from everything, just unplugging, or are you using this week to kind of work on some things? How, as a player, how are you handling it?
You know what? It's a lot different from when I was in the league. I had Ray Rose, had Bill Cowher, and they used to do things differently. At the very most, they would give us 4 days in a row off.
Okay.
Never a Monday to a Monday.
All right.
These guys get a Monday to a Monday. I've never seen that before in my life.
Wow.
But we would come in on Monday after we play the game. We'll go in, make sure everybody's healthy. If you're not healthy, you got to stay. You got to do treatment, whatever. But then we'd have to be back until Friday, Thursday or Friday. And then we come in, we'll do a light workout, run a little bit, watch a little tape, and then we leave again. We're back on Monday. We always had that 1 or 2 days to break that up. They didn't want us out the whole time.
That's crazy.
I don't see how they do that, man, especially with social media the way it is.
Yeah, more time to get in trouble, right?
Yes. If they had social media back in my day,
Oh.
It'd been a lot. Half the league would have been gone, bro.
Right, right.
I had troopers, man. I mean, I played with Kirk Avea and all those guys, man. Woo.
Kirk
Richard
Avea.
Dent, you know what I mean? I'm
They're
talking
home
old
going,
school,
shut
old
up, Barrett,
school.
shut up.
Yeah.
Right.
But long story long, these guys, man, they understand what they need. They understand they got to go out and really cross their T's and dot their I's. There's a sense down in that locker room that they're a special team. And when you listen to what they're going to say next week, they're going to reiterate, hey, we're a special team. We got a special group of guys here. So they're going to start working towards being even more special, meaning they're going to come in and make sure they do the extra to take it to another level. They see the potential this team could have. A lot of these guys have been to the promised land, have been to a Super Bowl. Don't think they're not going to listen to Kelsey and Lane Johnson because they've been there before. Right. They want to win a ring. This is a special team, and they're going to start doing things to get acclimated to what championship teams do.
All right, so Henry, go ahead. I want to get specifics into what they need to improve on.
Kelsey was at the last Super Bowl. How different are these teams? That team, I thought, struck lightning a couple times. Rodgers went down that season. Dak went down. All the moon and the stars lined up for that team.
Absolutely.
The Philly special play. I mean, that was magic and once-in-a-lifetime stuff. This team looks like it could keep doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Talent. This team has way more talent than that team. That team was a lot more together. And they know that, and Kelsey and those guys know that if they can get that close, that's why you hear Fletcher Cox making sure he's bringing these younger guys in.
Yep.
If they can get that close, this could be an extra special team.
So that Super Bowl team, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be way out of line here, was that a bunch of B players brought together and with an A mindset, where I think this time you got a lot more A players than B players,
exactly.
and the schemes are crazy on offense.
You had B players that were playing. All the A players, really, most of the A players were on IR.
Got hurt.
Time.
Peters,
you got the best
Hicks.
one of the best return guys in the league.
Yeah.
Hicks was coming into his own as being one of the better linebackers in the league. I mean, come on.
And Wentz was playing at an A level. It's hard to believe now, but he was.
He was playing at an MVP level.
Yeah.
Wentz wasn't even in the game. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
What team's better coached?
That's tough because we're still learning what this team is.
Doug had a great feel. He did. I mean, like.
Is this Doug or Frank?
Well, say what you want. I'll go back to the Philly special. That took a secure coach to be like, all right, let's go.
To let him call.
To let Foles suggest it and just roll with it. Like, that took some guts in that
I could
spot.
see Sirianni doing that. He seems laid
I could
back.
see Sirianni doing that too. Right. But I'm saying, like, Doug deserves props. I think things kind of went nuts, but at the end, he was in tune with that group.
Different guy in the aspect that Hurts is not going to want to run a Philly special.
Right.
He's going to run on. Hey, coach, let's run 3-2-2 watch stick nod.
Yeah.
He's going to go one. He's going to want one of those players. He doesn't want to beat you up with a gadget play. He wants to go out there and totally annihilate you with teams with plays that teams fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a totally different mindset in all actuality. But yes, I'm telling you, bro.
Well, Nick Sirianni, I got to admit, last year he said a couple corny things like about the flowers, and it seemed like he was just trying to win people over to me. I'm like, I can't believe this guy's communicating as much as he does with the press. But this year, he looks like a guy that hasn't slept in a year sometimes on TV.
Yeah, well,
that's what playing does to you.
But Coach, here's what it is. You relate to this better than anybody else. He connects with these guys. They believe in him. Whatever it is on however the outside perceives things, it doesn't matter because those guys.
A year ago, Fletcher Cox was grumbling. You know, it's not my job to chase the screen down. All that stuff. I mean, he really. All these kids have bought into this.
They have bought in. All right, so. Areas of improvement here. We sit here, and it's been darn good, but what needs to get better?
Well, can I get a Michael Clay sighting? Where's Michael Clay at? We need our special teams to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And that means not just a return guy. You know, of course, we need better returns. But we need better blocking for the guy returning it.
Yep.
There are guys in his face as soon as he gets the ball. How can you expect this guy to go out there and make some plays if he doesn't have the blocking to get out there? And the difference is he's a rookie. He can't say what he wants to say. But, hey, what if my guy was back there? K-State's own. You know what I'm saying?
Darren Sproles.
If Darren Sproles was back there, hey, guys, y'all better block.
Yeah, Covey's just got to take it.
He's got to take that, that butt whooping.
Yeah.
But, no, they need to block for him. They need to have, if it takes putting out your top flight guys to block on special team, then so be it.
Yep. How many teams would like to have that question? What do we need to fix? And you go, just a special
I agree.
teams.
I agree.
I mean,
no, that is.
He's right. I mean, but what a luxury to have that going.
Yeah, I mean, look, the good thing is you have a kicker. Sippos has to be better, and you're right. The return game's got to be better. And they give up a couple gadget plays, too. That's got to get cleaned up as well. So there are definitely areas there. I would agree with you 100%. What would you like to see differently, say, on defense? For me, it's just more consistent with the closing on with the pass rush, getting sacks.
They've got to get more sacks. You know, that means you got to play more aggressive on the outside. You can't have that first read right there for them. You got good enough corners, they could cover the entire play. You know, so you have to worry about getting beat off the top. That's why he didn't play that tight last year. Right. He didn't have the guys that would, mature enough. Avonte Maddox wasn't mature enough at that point to get in somebody's face and play in the entire play. He does. He has 3 guys that can play. In fact, this is the best trio in the NFL. All 3 of those guys, Avonte Maddox, James Bradbury, and Darius Slay, can cover a guy from the beginning of the play to the very end of the play. So take that first read away. That gives that defensive line just that much more time to get to quarterback. And once they start doing that, they got to play, man. It's got to be that 1-2. Sweat, you're too damn big, you're too damn strong, too damn quick not to be out there making plays. You have got to make more plays. He's good enough to make more plays. He has a jump that can get off. I'm telling you, Sweat is a unique type of rusher. He has speed, and he's long, and when he hits a guy, if he plays long, there's nobody that can block him. But he has to come with that attitude, I want to be the man. Until he does that, it's just going to be every once in a while.
All right, 1 minute. We'll get heavier into this next week. You're a Steelers guy. Barrett played for the Steelers. You've been locked in on them pretty hard this year. What are they?
What are they?
Yeah. Not very good.
I was going to be like, pissing me off. They're making me mad. I mean,
I set you up for that one.
I was asking for the rookie from the beginning. Let him cut his baby teeth.
Yeah.
They're very frustrating to watch. I mean, maybe we catch the Eagles overlooking them or something. I mean, it's mischief night.
Are you going to the mischief night? Is that what you're going to?
Barrett, I got a bug. I got a
right.
Eagles bus. Steelers and Eagles fans on the bus. I'm taking 30 of them down there.
All right.
Making them sit seat to seat like Remember the Titans.
That's right. They're stopping off at Gettysburg.
Left side, strong side.
We have not fared well coming to Philly in recent years. We just don't step up down here. But who knows? I mean,
I hear
let's
you.
be real.
Okay.
Me and this guy will be drinking. He's a Steelers fan.
We have a couple Steelers fans here. Barrett, of course, earned that bling.
That nice piece of jewelry.
With the Steelers. So that's he's got some nice rocks on.
You never know what team you're going to get out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they played well against the Bucs, but
T.J. Watt's back, you'll have a better set, but I don't think he's back.
That's a big part, man. He's the equivalent of losing a great quarterback.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's crazy how that
kind of
defense
impact.
just folds a little bit.
I mean, his career, them without him, career-wise, they haven't won a game.
They haven't won a game. They're now 0-8, I think.
Yeah.
Or 0-9.
No, it's like 0-12 now.
Oh, is it up to 12?
Yeah, since he came into his own and really became, T.J. Watt.
I mean, Barrett knows the standard out in Pittsburgh. I mean, what drives, as a lifelong fan, what's driving me crazy is they keep talking about the 15-win, never losing a season.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like painting mediocrity. All right, so we never win 500. Yay.
I know.
I mean, he's starting to remind me of Marvin Lewis a little bit.
Or it's
Hate to
time.
say it.
It's time.
Or it might be time. They were getting angry out there.
Okay. All right. Look,
But
that's fair
the
enough.
Eagles fans always treat us well down at the stadium. I get yelled at with a Steelers shirt. I'm like, aren't we in the same state? Like,
If you're not in green, you're going to get yelled at.
Isn't that the perfect Super Bowl? The Steelers and the Eagles?
That would be fun.
Right.
That would have been fun. It should have happened.
And it should be in Penn State.
And I was supposed to be on that team. I was on that Steeler team, and I remember we beat up on the Eagles and we beat up on the Patriots.
Right.
But that's when that all that stuff came out with Spygate. It came out with our game.
Yep.
I was on the field, and I can remember coming in like, draw, right here. And then quarterback, Bennett come up and say, hey, 15.
Like, what? They know exactly what we're about to run here. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So we'll see what ends up happening with the Steelers this week. And then, of course, be the big build-up. And they're all back next week as the Eagles get back. And it'll be home game. Another home game as well against Pittsburgh. But certainly a great start. 6-0 so far. Hard to find a lot of issues, which is very rare. That's for sure. But it's going to be fun this week. All right, Barrett, great job, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Good seeing you here at Screwballs. And, of course, the coach, Henry Richards. Henry, good seeing you as always. And for our guy, Krause. And for all of you here at Screwballs, we appreciate you
Definitely
guys
appreciate you.
coming out and hanging out with us. And it's been a lot of fun, and we're back at it next Thursday for Countdown to Kickoff. Thanks for hanging with us.